Hi, I'm Tim, welcome to our channel, and thanks for logging on. If you enjoy these videos, do me a favor and subscribe to our YouTube channel right here at Watchbox Reviews. I would really appreciate it, and I promise to update daily. If you love this watch, you can see it and you can purchase it on our website, thewatchbox.com. Today we're discussing a 2016 release from Omega, the Omega Seamaster Aqua Terra Good Planet. This one, 38.5 millimeters in titanium, is easy to wear on my 16 centimeter circumference wrist, and might have been the best of the Good Planet series of charitably oriented Seamaster timepieces. Now the watch, of course, 38.5 millimeters in titanium, feather light on my wrist, and it wears easily because from lug to lug it measures only 45.4 millimeters. The timepiece is 13 millimeters thick, which is fairly exemplary by the standards of coaxial Omega Seamasters, and with a 19 millimeter spacing between the lug, you can see that proportionally the watch is nicely styled with the lug spacing, the thickness, and the span across the wrist, all keeping the timepiece essentially indistinguishable from the 43 millimeter version unless you happen to see them side by side. It's an easy watch to wear, and I'll recommend it for wrists as small as 13 centimeters circumference. So though it has the same technical specs as the 43, it can also be considered a unisex option. The watch is remarkably comfortable thanks not just to the hypoallergenic titanium, but also to the hybrid strap that's fitted. You can see it's a combination of calfskin on the bottom and a blue textile with a contrasting stitch on the top. There's a little bit of bolstering to match the volume of the lugs aesthetically. And then there is a full titanium deployant clasp, which is both satin finished and polished. You can open it up and see that inside there is a minderless system. So you actually size this strap by tucking the excess length in underneath the clasp, and note that there are gussets to prevent the gouging of the strap. This one's designed for long wearing durability. Very high quality stuff. It actually removes any excess length externally visible and removes the need for minder loops to corral that excess length. So this is a smart clasp design. It also has twin trigger release, so it can't accidentally pop open. You must press both triggers to open this clasp. The case itself is familiar to Omega fans. Sheer sides with longitudinal satin finish. You have polished bevels that expand at their ends, and then lyre style lugs that turn outward and inward with that opposing tuck. That profile has been on Speedmasters and Seamasters since at least the mid-60s. This being the pre-2017 Aqua Terra profile, there's a little bit of a shear guard, that nestled crown with a bit of protection, a bit more protection than it has on the post-2017 model. The bezel is shallow and conical, and the dial is white and lacquered. The lacquer is gorgeous. It's white, glossy, rich, lustrous. It almost looks like enamel, but it doesn't have the vulnerabilities of enamel, nor does it have the cost of enamel. All of the indices are applied in a metallic blue that's gorgeous, matched by the applied Omega logo and marquee, and then you have the broad arrow style minute and the Dauphine hour. The timepiece featuring blue on white print. You can see Arabic numerals outboard of the applied indices. Then you have a trapezoidal aperture for the date and a monotone white date disc, so it's relatively unobtrusive. It doesn't spoil the lines of the dial. 150 meters water resistant thanks to the screw down crown. The watch features both a hacking or stop second function and an intermediate crown position. Let me see if I can find it, that allows you to set the hour independently. See how the watch is still ticking? I'm not interrupting the precision of the timepiece, but I can travel east or west across the international date line, and I can actually change the date using the hour hand without disrupting the time or affecting the movement adversely. Turning it all over, you see Omega exclusive caliber 8500. Automatic winding, 60-hour power reserve, twin mainspring barrels that do a better job than a single barrel of maintaining amplitude for the full wind of the watch, and this is something that Rolex watches have a problem with. You'll see that Rolex amplitude drops remarkably after 24 hours. With twin barrels as opposed to the Rolex One, you don't have that problem. You'll also note that there is a free-sprung balance with a full balance bridge, and the free-sprung balance and full bridge make the watch more shock tolerant. You'll also note that there is a silicone hairspring, SI14 being Omega's shorthand for silicone hairspring. It is effectively an amagnetic watch, and if you look carefully, you can see the bridge for the coaxial escapement system as well as the teeth of the coaxial. And this is the tri-level coaxial, the latest version. 20 years ago, Omega launched the first coaxial. 1974, George Daniels invented it, and it's been a long and winding journey, but today, realizing George Daniels' vision, these coaxials are incredibly precise, able to run better than a second per 24 hours. They're also fairly tough, and they enable Omega to give these these watches extended warranties out to half a decade, so tough, accurate, minimal maintenance. That's the coaxial, probably still the most exotic escapement you can buy for under $50,000. The watch is also a COSC certified Swiss chronometer, which means adjusted in 5 positions, it is exceptionally accurate. Make no mistake, the watch exceeds the chronometer spec. The 38 jewel movement features blackened screws with polished screws, both, no blued screws here, it's distinctive of Omega, and then arabesque spiral Côte de Genève across the bridges and the rotor. Bidirectional winding, it has a silent rotor without any rattle. A lovely watch and a universal size. This is an all-around sports watch that retains all of the water resistance, the same movement, and the technical capability of its larger 43mm stablemate. This is just the more versatile of the two, and it would be my choice. See it and make it yours on the watch box. Omega Seamaster Aqua Terra Good Planet by night.